In this video, I want to talk about raising a business while raising a family. I started my first business, when my son was 4 months old. And in that time, I went through a lot of different businesses over the years of his growing up. He's 23 years old now. And there's a lot to do when you're a new mom. There's a lot to do when you're a business owner. And there's a lot of advice out there not targeted towards moms building a business. Over the years, I definitely got the impression that people didn't think a mom building a business was building a real business, that she was doing something legitimate, that it was like kind of just a little thing she was doing while she was home raising the kids. And that's not true. But what is true is we have a lot more vying for our attention than someone who is not raising children, who is potentially has a spouse who's doing that raising as well, who's taking care of the house, and who can solely focus on raising the business. And I think this is important to discuss because as I looked for help, training, coaching, information, a lot of it is geared to people who don't have all of these things, these extra things pulling on their attention. And one of the things I wish I had done better in the early years was learn finances. I want to bring that up. It's a bit of the elephant in the room for me as far as doing these videos talking about making money, living lifestyle freedom for so many years. From 19 years old, I got into debt and I never learned finances. I never learned how to take proper care of my money, so I ignored it. And it did not get better by ignoring it. It got worse and it got worse and it grew year after year. And then I had a kid and I started building a business and it still didn't improve. Like making more money does not improve that situation. So when you have all of these resources pulling on your attention, there is only so much you can do. One of the biggest regrets I have, even though I don't like to have regrets, I like to feel like I have learning experiences, but I do regret not really digging in and understanding finances, managing my money, making sure I have no debt, learning about investing and all of these things. I wish I had done that so much sooner. So, as a mom, raising a business while raising a family, you can't really discuss being extremely successful with that without having a discussion around money. And you can make the money, and that's typically what I teach people to do. But if that money doesn't stay with you, if it all goes to debt, if you're just trying to keep up and just trying to survive, then that's not freedom, right? So I really think that even though you have all of these things pulling for your attention, something might have to give, something might have to be put to the side, but it shouldn't be money. It shouldn't be finances. And as women, we should be taking the reins of our own finances because I have seen far too many women be left with just a life that they have to pick up and start again and just really get back to some kind of baseline normal because of a breakup. So we want to avoid that. We want to have our own money. We want to have our own property, our own abilities to be financially stable. And this is going to be the ultimate freedom for you, right? So lifestyle freedom is absolutely like the drum I bang on, the thing that's so important to me. And it also will have to include financial freedom, financial independence, whatever it is you want to call it. It has to be involved there. So I would recommend you do that because in those early years of raising a business while raising a family, I was really scrambling. I was struggling really hard. And it doesn't have to be that way, but you have to get that in order. So that's my message for today, and we'll talk soon.